What's up, everybody? It's a Christmas edition of the Fox NFL Cheat Sheet. Week 16, let's get it started. Here are 5 things I'm wishing for this weekend. Number 1, if we get a decent Dolphins-Packers game on Christmas Day. Why do I say that? Well, because when the NFL put out its schedule in May, there was this expectation that the NFL was going to knock the NBA off the Christmas block, and the matchups were great. You had Dolphins, Packers, then you had the defending Super Bowl champion Rams hosting the Denver Broncos, and at night you had this fun, exciting Kyler Murray-led Cardinals team versus a Tampa team that was going to be led by Tom Brady. Like, everything was in the cards. I don't know about you, but I look at that Rams-Broncos game. I don't care if Russell Wilson's in or not. I'm not sure how much of my attention is going there. I don't care if it's on Nickelodeon and SpongeBob is doing whatever he's doing in the goalpost. And then the nighttime game, that's a rough watch. It's a rough watch. I know Tampa's still alive, but that doesn't mean that Christmas might not be owned by the NFL. I think Dolphins-Packers is the game of the week. I think it's huge. Dolphins have lost 3 straight games, all those on the road. Packers, meanwhile, have won 2 straight. Packers won on Monday night. Their percentage from going to the playoffs went from a 6% chance to an 8% chance. If they win on Sunday, things totally change. And now we've got a red-hot Aaron Rodgers and the Packers we got to watch out for. I'm asking Santa Claus. I'm asking the football gods. I'm asking everybody, can we get a game with the Dolphins and the Packers? Because I don't know about those other 2. Number 2, another Kayvon Thibodeaux. Huge performance. I love watching this guy play. He was the biggest soundbite in the NFL draft last season, all combine. I remember the whispers. Maybe he's a me guy. Maybe he doesn't have a motor that goes all the way when he has to. Just like Justin Herbert has torn up every narrative about him coming out of Oregon, Kayvon Thibodeaux has done the same this season, and he was the defensive player of the week in the NFL in week 15. 12 tackles from the defensive line position. A forced fumble, strip sack, touchdown in the biggest regular season game for the Giants in half a decade, and then the huge second down stop on the goal line of Taylor Heineke. Kayvon Thibodeaux is a sensation right now. The Giants have been solid on defense all season, and then it started to lag. They got the biggest defensive effort all year long in the biggest of moments, and it came from their top 5 pick, their rookie Kayvon Thibodeaux. They go to Minnesota this week. I think the Vikings are going to try. They're going to play hard, all that stuff, but the Giants are desperate for their playoff lives. The Vikings, they've already locked up the NFC North. I wouldn't be shocked if Thibodeaux had another huge day in week 16. Number 3, I love James Houston. Who is James Houston? James Houston has one of the best stories in the NFL this season. James Houston was a 6th-round pick out of Jackson State of the Detroit Lions. He did not play for the first 11 weeks of the NFL season. He was on the practice squad. The Lions activated him for the Thanksgiving Day game against the Bills. He had a big sack, and it was like, who's this dude? He has had a sack in every game since, and he is breaking records. What this dude is doing is really incredible. Only 2 other players have had sacks in their first 4 career games. Terrell Suggs, who was the 2003 Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Santana Dotson, who had 10 sacks in his rookie season in 1992. James Houston, a 6th-round pick, who the Lions did not have on the field for the first 2 months of the NFL season. They roll him out in late November, and now he's like this pass-rushing demon. I love his story. They're going up against the Carolina Panthers, and you better believe the Detroit Lions still have more than just a heartbeat with the playoffs. They are looking to make the playoffs for the first time in several seasons. James Houston, to go along with fellow rookies, Aiden Hutchinson, who's been playing great, Kirby Joseph, defensive back, who's been great, Malcolm Rodriguez, and of course, the rookie wide receiver, Jamison Williams. Hats off to James Houston for standing out despite having to wait his turn. I love stories like that. Number 4, it's time to give one of the Eagles' defensive stars some love, and that man is Hassan Reddick. Tell you what, Gardner Minshew is the story of the week here in Philly, but I think Hassan Reddick deserves some shine also. Reddick is having an incredible season. He's got more than 10 sacks for the 3rd straight year, and he's doing it for the 3rd team in 3 years. Yeah, great story with him in that he, in his final year with the Arizona Cardinals, had this breakout season that they've been waiting for, but they didn't re-sign him. So he signed a 1-year deal with the Carolina Panthers, and he has 11 sacks last year for Matt Rule, but Carolina doesn't re-sign him. So he's a free agent, and he goes back home. He's a Jersey guy. He goes to Philly, where South Jersey's right there. He played his college ball at Temple, and he's having an awesome season again. Last weekend, Hassan Reddick had 2 sacks, a tackle for a loss, a pass defended, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery. And it's an incredible story. And so as we all focus on Gardner Minshew and what can Minshew do against the Cowboys on Saturday in this huge NFC East game, don't be shocked if it's Hassan Reddick who steals the show. And he's the guy we're talking about on Sunday morning. Number 5, let's give some love to Franco Harris. Franco Harris passed on Wednesday morning, and it's almost eerie that the 50-year anniversary of the Immaculate Reception is occurring on Saturday night. And they were going to honor Franco anyway, and they were going to raise his jersey to the rafters and retire it. They're doing that. It's amazing. I've met Franco Harris several times in my life. He's an incredible guy. He was a gentleman. Class is the word that everyone uses to explain him. But I go back to that Immaculate Reception, and the play is what gets so much love and so much credit. But I've done so much research on this play over my course of my career. A couple of things that's worth noting. That was the first ever Pittsburgh Steelers playoff win. Happened in 1972. They were a franchise that started in 1933. That was their first ever playoff win, that game. That catch and that touchdown that Franco Harris had, it was the first ever touchdown in Steelers postseason history. This is wild stuff. You go back from that. There was 14 different Hall of Fame players in that game alone. 14 on the Raiders and the Steelers combined. 14, of course, Franco being one of them. And I think the last one that's interesting is that play that is voted as the NFL 100 number one play of all time. Steelers lost the next week to the Dolphins in the playoffs. Like, they didn't win a Super Bowl with that. Like, I just think everyone imagines that they won a Super Bowl and they rattled off all these victories. That play is one of the most historic plays of all time, and yet the undefeated Dolphins in 72 knock off the Steelers less than a week later. All told, I cannot wait for this one on Saturday night, and to the Harris family and to everyone who loves the Steelers, our hearts are with you here from the Fox NFL Cheat Sheet. Everybody, we got a great NFL weekend up ahead. Let's celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception, but also let's celebrate all the great football in some cold weather games this weekend. For all my stuff, go to the Fox Sports digital app and find me on Twitter at @PSchrags. Enjoy the games, everybody.